Okay, Marianne here again. So terroir, interesting. There are a lot of different factors that contribute to that. So soil qualities, the water qualities, different climate influences. I've even read that specific to chocolate, growing next to another kind of food source producing plant can impart the flavors of that plant into the chocolate. Now, being a super taster, I don't know if I could distinguish that it was because of the neighboring plant, and our cacao orchard is isolated enough that there's no neighboring plant that would influence it. And this leads me to, and as I said, that I would talk more about the qualities of cacao and the why chocolate is special among the foods that are produced globally. So there, I've read differing positions on this number, but I've heard that, so flavonoids, the parts in food that we eat are lumped into flavonoids and aromas. So the flavors, or what we taste, and again, taste is not just what our tongue registers, but also what our nose registers. When you're chewing something, you smell what's going on. And if you've ever had a cold and things sort of taste not great or all the same, you know what I'm talking about. And, or maybe if you've ever noticed, it happens, trust me. And so I've heard that cocoa beans have anywhere from 800 to 1200 flavor components in them, flavor and aroma components. That would make it, in the article that claimed 1200, that would make it one of, if not the most complex food, agricultural food product that we consume on the planet. And that's really interesting. And a lot of people have worked very hard to comprehend and break down all of those flavor components in chocolate or in cocoa products. I'm leading you down a path. I know I'm heading somewhere with this. So I kind of started dabbling with things that don't have sugar in them. I want to say that I am an avid viewer of cooking shows. I have been since I was 9 or 10. And I think that it's a disservice that a lot of cooking shows have started having chocolate as an ingredient. And they say that they have chocolate on the Iron Chef altar and on the, as a challenge ingredient in Chopped and those sorts of shows. And Top Chef has done one too, where they're, highlighting chocolate. But the problem is it's not really chocolate. It's what is actually classified as candy bars. Candy, it's fine. You know what? Chocolate flavored candy has a place in the world, especially at Halloween, but it's not chocolate. Beans are divided globally in two different tiers. There's commodity chocolate, and that is our commodity cocoa beans, which are mostly produced. 70% of the global cacao beans come out of Ghana and the Ivory Coast, and now spreading a little bit to other places in Africa. And they are used for bulk chocolate. The stuff you can find, this used to be empirically true, the stuff you can find in the grocery store, not artisanal chocolate. There are some more elite or small chain stores that are now covering more craft chocolate. More on those classifications later. The other large scale classification is fine beans. And those are grown generally on 5 or hectare or 6 or 7 acre small family farms globally along a belt that is defined by a certain number of degrees away from the equator. And that's the only area on the planet that can support commercial growing of chocolate. Now, Hawaii is in that further north region of that equatorial belt for growing chocolate. And that is, I think, part of the reason that Hawaiian grown chocolate, cocoa beans, are so exceptional. Like with most products or most plants and animals that live in colder regions, the cocoa beans or cacao beans on the Big Island and other islands in Hawaii store more fat. And that's in the form of cocoa butter. And because they store more fat, they can put out more flavor. So there, my little story on flavor. Next time I'll continue on this discussion of the flavor complexity of cocoa beans and show you a chart. Talk to you, see you later.